This is a story about a military love, a peaceful home in the suburbs of Washington State, and a death that was ruled an accident, but carried the smell of gunpowder, deceit, and questions that never got real answers. You're watching 48 Hours True Crime, and today we're reopening the case of Brenda and Dwayne Thurman. Brenda Liz Thurman was born on August 28, 1972. After leaving the military, Brenda didn't stop moving forward. She earned a master's degree in social work and began helping struggling veterans at the Spokane Valley Veteran Support Center in Washington. Dwayne worked there too, helping the homeless find housing, and served as a reserve deputy sheriff in Lincoln County. A man who once wore a uniform now wore a mask of integrity. And it rang on the morning of January 18, 2016. 9 a.m. A 911 call came in. A panicked voice on the other end. "I shot my wife. It was an accident. We're taking her to the hospital." A trained sniper, a mother, a wife, was gone. Dwayne told police a strange story. The day before, he said, the two of them had gone to the shooting range. Was on the couch nearby with her iPad, looking up the issue. Dwayne said he didn't realize Brenda had gotten up and was now standing close to him. Then suddenly, the gun fired. He didn't remember pulling the trigger, but the bullet was chambered. The initial ruling? Accidental discharge. But as time passed, the case refused to stay buried. Brenda was often described by friends as a strong woman, but one with a warm, steady heart. She wasn't just a former soldier who had passed sniper school, a brutal program so demanding that even many men couldn't complete it. She was also a devoted mother and a deeply patient wife. Dwayne, on the other hand, was different. With his mild-mannered appearance and his work helping homeless veterans, he looked like the perfect husband, the kind of man who shows up, cares. And sometimes, it's the people who seem the kindest who are hiding the darkest secrets. The soft clatter of keyboard taps. Brenda was searching for information about the Glock on her iPad. She had no idea that in just a few seconds, it would be the last moment of her life. In that instant, everything shattered. A single gunshot. And upstairs, Gabby, her daughter, was suddenly wrapped in a strange, hollow silence. She didn't run down. She didn't scream. She just froze. Downstairs, Brenda collapsed. The bullet didn't hit the ceiling. It didn't lodge in a wall. It didn't ricochet into the floor. It struck her dead center, right in the chest. A shot so precise it felt aimed. Yet it was called an accident. Dwayne didn't call 911 right away. Was he in shock? Or was he cleaning something up? By the time Gabby finally made her way downstairs, that's when the call was made. A call that should have happened the very first second. The Glock 42, the one Dwayne claimed malfunctioned 95% of the time, was sent to the crime lab for testing. The results? No malfunction. Not even close. Every mechanism worked exactly as it should. Dwayne was a reserve officer. He knew guns. Brenda knew them even better. She had graduated from sniper school. In the military, Brenda had been trained to stay alive and to keep others alive by checking every single bullet, every tiny click. So why would someone like her ever stand in front of a gun being disassembled? And why didn't Dwayne, with all his experience, check the chamber before trying to take the weapon apart? Because maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe it was deliberate. Maybe it was planned. Not long before that fateful day, cracks had already begun to form in Brenda and Dwayne's marriage. Dwayne was having an affair with a coworker, but the jury was never told that. Why? Because the law barred that information from being presented at trial. Dwayne claimed that Brenda was also cheating, but he didn't know with who and he had no proof. Was it true? Or was it just a convenient excuse? A way to shift blame to soften his own guilt? One thing was clear. Their relationship had become clouded by suspicion, jealousy, and a quiet kind of collapse. The court convicted Dwayne Thurman of second-degree manslaughter. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. And in 2022, Dwayne walked out, back into the world. Brenda never got that chance. Because the issue was never just the bullet. It wasn't just the gun. It was the fact that justice isn't always guaranteed. Had the trial been held in another state with different prosecutors, maybe the outcome would have been different. Maybe Dwayne would have faced a first-degree murder charge. Maybe 5 years would have turned into life. But maybe it doesn't bring Brenda back. This wasn't just a murder case. It was a reminder that not every death is fully solved and not every killer faces the justice they deserve. Brenda was a warrior, but the one who ended her life came from the one place you'd expect to be the safest, her own family.